Hi there, today's tutorial is based on open wounds and nasty gashes, as you can see. Recently we've had a really bad intake of bad storms and really bad winds, and Storm Gareth I think it was called. So today I've made it look like fallen trees and broken branches are falling down and ripped the skin. So we've started off by using latex and flour mixed together to make a thick substance. Once you've laid it out, you can then spread it out thinly and then start to shape a mould where you would like your scars to be. Then add a thin layer of latex around the edges so that it's very thin so it can blend into your skin. You can use a pen or the edge of a paintbrush just to deepen the wounds to give it a more deeper depth look. Once you're happy with the look, you can then leave it to dry overnight, or to make it quicker you can put it in the microwave 5 seconds at a time, and then once it's fully dried, give it a good brush over with some translucent powder so it stops it all sticking to itself. I'm now applying liquid latex to my skin, or if you don't like liquid latex you could always use Prozaid or spirit gum, whichever one you prefer or suits your skin. And then with that I am then putting the prosthetic onto my chest area where I want it to be. Using latex, go around the edges of your prosthetic so that it blends into the skin and gives it that free and blended in look, so it's all nice and flat and there's no lumps and bumps showing. You could always use a little bit of makeup later as well to hide any lumps that are there. Using red cream paint, I'm now filling in the wound area, giving it depth and just filling in the open wound parts to start with. I'm now adding my Superstay full coverage foundation all around the outside and on top of the wound so it blends into the colour of my skin. Using more cream colours, I'm using more deeper reds to fill in the wounds and give it a more darker, deeper red look and more depth in places. And don't forget to go in all the corners and all around the areas and the little slit bits, just to give it that little darker look and more realistic wound. I'm now using alcohol activated paints, and with my brush I'm stippling it on so it blends in and gives it a more natural skin colour. I'm using Vaseline to cover my eyebrows and my hairline so that none of that latex gets in and pulls out any of my hairs. I'm also using a cotton pad to cover my eye to protect my eye from the latex. I found an old bouncy ball in the shape of an eye, which I cut in half and used as part of the prosthetic. We'll put that aside for now and then we'll come back to that later. I'm now putting latex around my eye and then using the cotton pad I'm sticking it to the outside of my eye. Adding more latex to give it a really good stick and holding it in place. Adding more latex to the bottom half of my face, I am now going to start using cotton wool and putting it all over the area of the top of my head right down to the bottom of my cheek. Okay, here comes the eye part. So you can either put loads of latex or Prozaid onto the eye and stick it where your eye would be. Okay, use loads of latex Flour over it, and then once that's all dry, start using the red cream paints to colour and fill it all in. Again, adding darker and deeper reds in certain areas of the open wound. This way it gives it more of a deep shadow depth look. I am now using Mehron Sin Wax, rubbing it in between my hands to soften it up and make it nice and warm. Use a little bit of oil or Vaseline, that will help stop it from sticking. You then apply it to the side of the wound so it looks like the skin is flapping over, and make sure you stick it down and you lay it down flat with your finger so it goes into your skin and gives it a nice blended into the skin look. Then apply your foundation so it also matches in with the colour of your skin. I found some old twigs and leaves in my garden, so I decided that as this was a storm windy theme, I would snap a couple of branches off and stick them to the wounds. So I just used a couple of layers of latex and some cotton wool to flatten over the top so it sticks to my skin, and then just reapplied more latex and then covered it with foundation and some blood. Now here I'm now using my face mask, which I made from my other tutorial called Ripped Face Illusion. So guys, if you can, check that out on my Shelves Spooky SFX page. So I'm applying the mask, so I'm getting it into the right position onto my face, and I'm not quite gluing it down properly. I'm just getting it out and filling it, and then just literally filling in the corner and sticking it down there so that I can release the wound and open up the skin and pull it back so that you can see the ripped part underneath. And I am now using Mehron's coagulated blood gel to give that thicker blood look and that gooey look. Also adding some Snazaroo blood spray and putting that all over. And then using a stipple sponge, you can also go with a little bit of blood in and around the edges. And don't forget to also cover in the under part of the skin, as it's just been ripped off, so it will be bloodied and gooey. And there you have it. This is the final look. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Shelves Spooky SFX. Thank you. Bye.